We do not or see or understand the world. Perceiving it through the narrow categories that inhabit us, we deny it and tear it apart. We do not see or understand the world. Perceiving it through the narrow categories that inhabit us, we deny it and tear it apart. The pain we often feel is the result of this denial. We do not see or understand the world. Perceiving it through the narrow categories that inhabit us, we deny it and tear it apart. The pain we often feel in being alive is the result of this denial. The revolution hypothesis. The revolution hypothesis is a series of ideas, fictions, and practices coming from anti-patriarchal and anti-colonial movements aiming to take steps towards a new earthly epistemology. The word revolution is not an ideological slogan or a partisan diktat, but a utopian organization of political desire, an exercise in cognitive emancipation, a speculative fabulation in Donna Haraway's words, a counter-narrative that seeks to modify the perspective on what is happening, to change, in quote, the questions in order to propose new answers. To imagine is already to act. To recover the imagination as a force for political transformation is already to begin to mutate. It is not enough. It is not enough to analyze the neoliberal condition. We must change the names of all things. I was lucky there was a stoplight. I was lucky there was no one behind me. I was lucky there was a stoplight. I was lucky there was no one behind me. I was lucky there was a stoplight. I was lucky there was no one behind me. The gap. The gap. The gap. The gap is situated between theory and practices of the radical left and its discourses around class struggle and political ecology, and the political grammar and practices of resistance and emancipation of racial, gender, and sexual minorities. This critical gap makes the revolution hypothesis difficult to postulate. To restore the disorder of language that takes place during a change of paradigm. I want to restore the disorder of language that takes place in a change of paradigm. I want to restore the disorder of language that takes place during a change in paradigm. To restore the disorder of language that takes place during a change in paradigm.
foolscap, foolscap, writing paper, note paper, newspaper, journal, gazette, note paper, periodical, periodical, note paper, tabloid, tabloid, broadsheet, broadsheet, carrying the words, note paper, note paper, note paper, note paper, carrying the culture, carrying the words, note paper, note paper, note paper, 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 note paper, note paper, note paper. The paper was peeling off the walls. Note paper, note paper, note paper. Note paper, note paper, notes. Notes, 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 words, notes, 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 words. Captured on paper, 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 captured and called on paper, 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 notes, 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 writing paper, notes and writing paper, local paper, newspaper, local paper, newspaper, journal, gazette, gazette and periodical, holding the notes, holding the notes, holding the notes on the paper, 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 paper. Right, right. Paper, 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 paper. Right, right. Paper, 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 paper. Paper, paper, paper. Paper over the cracks. Paper over the cracks. Paper, 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 paper. Note paper, note paper. Sealing the facts, sealing the words. Communicating, liberating, freeing. Paper, 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 letters, certificates, letters, certificates. Documents, historical documents, factual documents, paper, 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 records and archives, records and archives, receipts, records and archives. Reports, from Brian, the employee. Reports from Brian, the employee. Paper, 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 how did he do in his exams? Paper, 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 paper. Paper, paper, archives, paperwork, documentation, 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 paper, 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 documentation, writing. Certificates, files and deeds. certificates, files and deeds, study, report, analysis, review, review, paper, notes on a clearer world, notes on a clearer world, notes on clear thinking, a sheet of paper, writing paper, note paper, foolscap, a sheet of paper, a note paper, a local paper, a newspaper, journal, gazettes, periodical and tabloid, broadsheet, daily, weekly, informal rag. The paper is peeling off the walls. The paper is peeling off the walls. Journals. Article, monograph, article, subject, essay, monograph, essay, published. He's published, she's published, they've published a paper on the subject. A paper. Yes, a paper. Report, tract, analysis. Theme, before, themed, articles and reviews, and not forgetting the pictures on the paper, on the paper, the pictures in full bloom on the paper, in full bloom on the paper. Writing, note paper, notes on the paper, articles, pictures, personal documents, articles and reports, critique, review. I can't wait for the crier when it falls through my letterbox. Paper. Mailed to Bath, Brunswick. Paper through my door. The crier through my door. The paper. The crier with pictures. Mailed to Bath, Brunswick, and other places not far from there. Personal documents on paper and envelopes. Note to self, a magical dawn is about to arrive. Note to self. Note to self on the local paper, the Gazette, the Journal, the magical dawn. What? A sheet of paper. A sheet a sheet of paper, of varying weight, of varying weight, of varying weight, paper of varying weight and uses, note paper, tissue paper, toilet paper, note paper, personal papers and documents, certificates. Let's have some certificates. Certificates and letters and files and deeds and records and archives and paperwork and documentation. They asked us for papers. They asked us for papers. Identification papers, identity card, credentials, paper, credentials, paper, credentials, paper, credentials on paper. What are your credentials on paper? What are your credentials on paper? Note to self, credentials need to be on paper. Ask Brian, ask Brian, ask Brian, ask Brian, ask Brian. He was Employee of the Month, he got a certificate for that. He got a certificate and an identification paper, working, said Brian. He wrote an essay about his work. Brian, he got a receipt. Oh, he got a receipt. He was given some analysis. He was given some analysis. And a critique of his work, a critique of his work, a critique of his work, an examination. Brian got an examination, a 3-hour paper, that weighed more than 2 grams, a 3-hour paper, a 5-minute paper, a 2-minute paper, a 30-second paper, a millisecond paper, a 3-hour paper, 5 days paper, 10 years paper, certificates and letters, note paper, a sheet, foolscap. Where does that come from? Foolscap, where does that come from? Foolscap, where does that come from? Sheet of paper. Note paper, sheet of paper,
Spent the night awake with joint pains and the same cough. I open the bedroom windows wide because I am out of breath, but the air doesn't come in. The air has decided to stay outside the house, outside my body. I think that if I die, I will at least be lucky enough to have been able to hear the name I wished for. I imagined for the first time the name written on my grave. Where do I want to be buried? In the Père Lachaise Cemetery, which is a few hundred meters from my house, next to Monique Wittig. This proximity strangely calms me. Death seems simple, like a neighborhood map. Dysphoria Mundi. In Dysphoria Mundi, Paul B. Preciado has written a mutant text assembled from essays, philosophy, poetry, and autofiction that captures a moment of profound change and possibility. Rooted in the isolation of the COVID-19 pandemic and taking account of the societal convulsions that have ensued, Preciado tries to make sense of our times from within the swirl of revolutionary present moment. The central thesis of this monumental work is that dysphoria, to be understood properly, should not be seen as a mental illness, but rather as the condition that defines our times. Dysphoria as an abyss that separates the patriarchal, colonial, and capitalist order hurtling towards its end from a new way of being that until now has been seen as unproductive and abnormal, but is in fact the way of our current predicament, out of our current predicament. With echoes of visionaries such as William S. Burroughs and Kathy Aker, Presidio's theoretical writing is propelled by lyric power, which, while providing us with a critical toolbox full of new concepts that can guide our thinking and our actions, transition, cognitive emancipation, denormalization, disidentification, electronic heroin, digital clues, necro-keech. Dysphoria Mundi is Preciado's most significant work to date, in which he makes sense of a world in ruins around us and maps a joyous, radical way forward. Dysphoria Mundi. Dysphoria Mundi. Dysphoria Mundi. Dysphoria Mundi.
Written on paper. 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 Paper. Wonders of paper, the 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 wonders paper. Dysmorphia, Monday. Falling like confetti. Paper. It's falling like confetti. Paper. Books falling like confetti. And notes and paper falling like confetti. Foolscap. Remember this one? Remember this one? Remember that certificate? Remember that certificate? Remember that? Remember that exam? Remember that 3-hour exam? Remember that 3-hour exam? Remember that 3-hour exam? Remember that ID card? Remember that picture, that weird picture, the letters? Remember that letter? Remember that letter from Ruth? Remember the letter from Ruth? Remember what it said now? Remember what it said? It said those terrible things, those terrible things. It said those terrible things, those documents. They've got the proof, they've got the proof. They're holding the documents, My personal papers. I've got 10 certificates. I'm allowed to do this. I've got a certificate for it. You've got a certificate for it too, yeah. We've all got certificates. Let's put it in the archive. Let's put those falling confetti books in the archive. Let's archive this, yeah. Archive the paperwork, archive it. Let's do a test. Let's do a 3-hour test. Let's do a 3-hour test. And let's do it now. Let's just do it now. Let's do a 3-hour test now, and we'll be the best. We'll be the best at the test. We've got paper. We've got falling books like confetti. We've got paper. It's so much paper. We can do anything. We've got paper. We can do work. We can do things. We can do notes. We can do writing. We can do drawings. We can do pictures. We can do pictures and drawings. We can do everything. We can do it all. We've got paper. We have got paper. We can write it down. We can change the world. We can change society. We can change everything. We've got paper. We've got paper everywhere. It's all over the floor. It's everywhere. I love clearing up paper. Let's recycle. Let's get it all again. Let's start from the beginning again. Back to the beginning. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to the beginning of paper. Let's go back to the beginning with paper. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's recycle. Recycle the paper, the notes, the thoughts, the ideas, everything. Broadsheets, newspapers, notes, recycle them, collect them. I love them. Paper, recycled. Let's start again, right? 1, 2, 3, off we go. Yeah, start again. Documentation. Let's lose the documentation. We don't need documentation. We just need paper. We need paper, random paper all over the floor. We can roll in it. All over the floor. Paper, ripped paper, torn paper, broken paper, wallpaper, you name it, paper. Foolscap, I don't know why that's in there, but foolscap's there as well. Paper, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, don't know about that. A9, even less. A1, I like A1. Big paper. Newspapers are not big enough. A1, broadsheets. Publications that are periodicals and journals that tell us things that we didn't know before, and they tell us things we already knew, and they tell us things we didn't want to know, and they tell us things that weren't true anyway, but we believe them and we use them and we learn from them and we read them and we read them again. The paper, it's all in the paper, it's all about 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 the paper. Security, it's all about security. It's all about security. Journal, gazette, periodical, tabloid, broadsheet, daily, weekly, informal wag, informal nag. Paper was peeling off the walls. Wallpaper, wall covering, wood chip, wood chip, wood chip. Anaglypta, anaglypta crosswords there as well. Anaglypta, wallpaper, examination, test, examination, examination, examination. Examination. He's published, she's published. She's published, he's published, she's published. She's published, he's published. This. Published. She's published. Yes, it's published. Yes. She's published. Yes. Yes. Files and papers. She's published. Don't. Please, make a note. I'm always overwatered. See how that note worked? On the paper, the hands on the paper. How did that work? Hands on the paper. How did that work? It worked. Hands on the paper. It worked. Don't water me. I get overwatered. Check. I get overwatered. Check. Get overwatered. Notes. Look at that. Paper. Pictures on paper. Cat food. Don't forget the cat food. No, don't forget the cat food. Don't overwater me. Cat food. Note paper. Lake, Catford, lake. Don't overwater me. Don't water. Catford. No. Don't overwater me. Note paper.
These notes, open, water, paper. Please don't water me. Open, thanks to Paul de Preciado. Open Dysphoria Mundi.